Live from Austin, Texas, welcome to the Multifamily AI Lab.
Monday at 1, the lab lights ignite. We break it and build it, we're learning on site. Push AI to the edge, see what it can do. From comps to micro apps, we're forging something new. We're live, we're loud, and we're ready to explore. No limits hold us back, we're chasing tomorrow. For multifamily pros, the future's at our door. Experimentation's the spark, we watch it glow. We watch it glow. Tune in, ask questions, and experiment on the fly. Real estate solutions rising high. We might crash, we might soar. That's part of the show. But every fail's a lesson helping us grow. It's Multifamily AI Lab Love. Together, we'll find a way to thrive. We're live, we're loud, and we're ready to explore. No limits hold us back, we're chasing tomorrow. For multifamily pros, the future's at our door. Experimentation's the spark, we watch it glow. We watch it glow. We watch it glow. Together we'll find the way to thrive. Whoa. Tune in, ask questions, and experiment on the fly. Real estate solutions rising high. We might crash, we might soar. That's part of the show. But every fail's a lesson helping us grow. It's Multifamily AI Lab Live. Together, we'll find a way to thrive. Oh.
What's up, everyone? Jonathan, the music pumps me up too. I don't know about anybody else, but I catch myself air guitaring a bit at that solo part at the end. So I'm excited. I'm always excited, but today's going to be a fun one. I appreciate everybody being here. This is the Multifamily AI Lab Live, where we experiment with the latest AI tools to see what's possible. And specifically, we do that for the multifamily industry. So we do this every Monday, streams live on Twitch, YouTube, and here on LinkedIn. And it's a lot of fun. A couple weeks ago, we pulled comp data using OpenAI's operator. Last week, we did market research using the deep research tools from OpenAI, Perplexity, Gemini, and Grok. And today, we're focusing on marketing for multifamily. Marketing is a big thing where people really don't know how they can use it for AI. They kind of use it in interesting ways. So I've got some prompts prepared. And the way this is going to work is it's best when it's interactive. So get in the chat, get in the comments, ask me questions, make suggestions, point out things that you want to do differently. This is always better when we have an interactive experience with each other. This would be really boring if it was just me talking to a camera for the entire time. So how it's going to work beyond being interactive is I'm going to pull up some prompts. I'm going to change my screen so you can see what I'm doing on my screen. I'll walk you through the prompt, how I built it, why I built it that way, and then we'll test it. And some things are going to work, and some things will probably fail miserably. We're trying something today that's a little bit more challenging throughout the stream. So I'm actually really intrigued to see how well that works. Candidly, it didn't work all that great in my testing. It got about 50% of the way there. So we're going to see if we can do a little bit better job today while we're here live. So what we're doing today on marketing are a handful of things. We are going to try to custom build a pre-marketing website for a lease up that can capture waitlist information, and that also has a blog where you can post updates on the construction, with the goal of building awareness for the property before you start signing leases. So this would be from the time a shovel goes in the dirt and the construction fence is up through getting staff involved and actually moving forward with your leasing process for that lease up. We're going to do some hyper-targeted ads. Nora, welcome. Happy to have you here. And love that you do some custom artwork for streamers. I'll keep that in mind. Whoops, there we go. But we're going to do hyper-targeted ads across 3 different demographics, which should be great. We're going to do try and make some pictures with words and get ideas for captions of words and the marketing content. And then what was the 4th one? Oh, we're going to do a counter marketing campaign where we're going to ask, writing that down so I forget, we're going to ask the AI to go out and research our comps, see how they're marketing, and see if it can identify any gaps that we can take advantage of. So let's jump into this. Let me change my screen to, it's gone. All right, we'll change to, give me 1 second. Because that's supposed to be a little bit different. Here. Fun thing with doing things live is they don't always work. All right. There we go. All right. Y'all should be able to see my stream. So let's jump into it. First prompt, I want to start with the thing that's going to take the longest, and that's going to be the website build. So for the website build today, we're going to be using Replit. For those of you who are not familiar with Replit, without getting too in the weeds of what this does, is Replit's a place where people can write code collaboratively. It's an IDE. It's where people can build software and build programs. But they have this really cool thing called Replit Agent, where you can just prompt what you want it to build, and it'll build it for you. It'll do all the structure. It'll write all the code. And that makes it a lot easier in terms for people who aren't familiar with coding to build really useful tools. So let's take a look at the prompt we're going to use for this. I've mentioned in previous streams, and I'll talk about it a little bit here. It's really important that you're detailed in your prompt. Jonathan has a great question. Why Grok over ChatGPT or Claude? So we'll use ChatGPT. I subscribe to them all. I have I literally subscribe to them all: GPT Pro, Claude, Grok, Perplexity, Gemini, Copilot, several others. The reason we're using ChatGPT and Grok today is because those are the best models. I use Grok today, Grok 3, so that's a $40 subscription if you're paying monthly, a little bit less if you pay annually. Grok has been giving me the best results lately. It's probably the most intelligent model, but I'm curious today in our experiments to use GPT 4.5 because while it's been a little bit of a letdown big picture, what it does do really well is writing. So the better writing that we can so that just fits for marketing and what we're trying to do. So we'll see how the results turn out. That's why we're running it on both, so that we can compare and contrast and see which one's better and which one's not. So appreciate the question, Jonathan. So I mentioned that these prompts have to be detailed. The reason the way I think about it is as if you're giving instructions to an intern or a new employee to do something for you. If you just give them broad strokes, what usually comes back isn't very good. But being able to give detailed instructions really, really helps. And special shout out to Brennan Skaggs with Ohala Partners for letting me use some pictures, as well as letting me use a couple of their properties for our demo today. They build beautiful product in Houston and the DFW area. We worked with them at my last management company, ResProp. So I'm excited to be using them today. So I'm telling this that we're creating a pre-marketing website for the Brierly, and then I'm detailing out what I want in the website. So I want a hero section. That's at the very top where you have your image. I want a VIP waitlist sign up form where they can join the waitlist. I'm telling it what information I want to capture, and whether or not it's going to be required. I want admin functionality so I can go in and make updates and make changes to the site. I want a blog section where I can post updates about what's going on. And then obviously I want social media integration as well. Then I have some technical requirements here on making it reflect modern upscale aesthetics that I want to optimize for fast loading times. And then some stuff in terms of the programming language and security components that I want to use. Don't worry if you don't see these when we or haven't been able to capture all this information. These are going to go up after the stream on, let me find it, on prompts.chasingtomorrow.ai, which is a multifamily prompt library I built, where you can go see the prompts that I've been using in the industry and the ones that work in these live streams to see what's working, what's not working, and use them yourself. And they include instructions on how to use them and a bunch of other stuff. So let's grab this prompt and let's drop it into Replit. And we'll tell it to start building. So it's going to read that. It's going to configure the app. In a couple seconds, it's going to kick us over. It's going to start. It's going to give us a plan. So it's doing that now. And thinking. So this is using something similar to like O1 or the think mode from Grok. And what it's going to come back with is a plan on what it wants to build. It even recommends some additional features or things that we could add in as we go. So that's what this determining next steps is. And let's see, there we go. Let me propose what we'll build for you. So it's got a plan coming. Right now, I think I just want to build the initial prototype and leave these for things that I can add later. So I'm going to approve this plan to start, and we'll see it start building immediately. I'm going to let this run. We'll check back with this throughout the stream and see how it's going. It's going to be asking us for input throughout the entire process. So you can see here it is writing the code for me. It's going to start testing things. Replit Agent is incredible. I've used it to build emulators of property management software for demos for my product Guided, who's the sponsor of today's stream. But let's jump back and start on some marketing things while that's running. And big picture, I'll just make a quick aside. That's why I love these tools. Is I have a lot of stuff that I let run in the background while I'm working, and I can just come back to them and make decisions as opposed to having to do all that grunt work. So we're going to start with our hyper-targeted ads. Now, this prompt looks a little bit different than the last one. This one's written in a very specific language called XML. XML are all these bracketed in tags. AI models really like XML. It helps explain what's going on. It helps to organize things and allows you to make much more detailed prompts. I will show you all actually really quickly. Let me make another Grok tab. If you don't know how to write XML, that's fine. Where's prompts? I think it's in here. Nope. Y'all can see I use this all the time. There's a bunch of them here that I delete as well. I don't want to get stuck on that. I'll find that in a minute. Let me drag this over to another screen and we'll keep going. So let's go back to this prompt. I'll explain what we have here. So I always start with my prompts with giving it a task. I want I want the AI to know what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. So I'm asking it to act as a marketing expert for multifamily properties, and I'm telling it I want to make sure everything it gives me complies with fair housing laws. I'm providing a description of a property photo, which I'm actually not doing anymore. There we go. Each ad should focus on different aspects of the property that could attract various types of renters, such as convenience, sustainability, or luxury. I'm giving it information on the property name. Here are the key features of the property that I have. So the things that we might want to highlight in our ad. And you can see the brackets here letting it know like property details. So I could add more property details if I wanted to here. Then I have image descriptions, which are descriptions of the images, the countertops. And then we get into down here, ad specifications. So structure, short with a compelling headline, descriptive and engaging body text. Create 3 separate ads. These are the instructions. So again, I'm building up. I'm giving it first a goal, then I'm giving it background and context. Now I'm telling it what I want it to do. So I want 3 separate ads, each focused on a different aspect of the property. And then each ad should highlight the opportunity to pre-lease an apartment in Briarly, use the property details. I'm going to add an instruction here where I want while still avoiding fair housing laws, try to have each ad geared towards a different demographic, young professionals, couples, and empty nesters. So, whoops. Make sure I grab it all. And let's dump this into Grok and see what happens. Now, with Grok, we have a couple options. We could do deep search, but this specific activity doesn't necessarily require it. But I am going to have it think. This is the reasoning version of Grok 3, where it's going to take some time. And as we start this, you'll see it, where it's now thinking about how it wants to solve this problem. And it's telling you what it's thinking about. And so that's really helpful for me just to make sure that everything's kind of on the right stream for how things are going. So while this is running, we're going to start the same prompt in ChatGPT. And this one I'm going to use O1 Pro mode because we're not actually running ads. So we'll do GPT 4.5. And we'll see what this comes back with. I would expect this to be a bit faster than Grok because it's not doing the thinking and the reasoning. But once again, we'll see what we get. So this is still thinking, but we're already getting results down here. So elevate your lifestyle with urban convenience at Briarly. Enjoy modern luxury in Briarly's sleek open plan apartments. Located in vibrant Houston, spacious living areas blended with city life, which this property is very close to downtown. Bright, eco-friendly apartments designed for modern comfort. And then sophisticated urban living with stunning Houston views. Now, a lot of times with these, we don't necessarily get, it's never going to be perfect coming out of it. So something to bear in mind is you're going to have to tweak these. And these are good for short ads, but maybe I want slightly longer ads. So let's say, I think I'd like the ads to be a bit, come on, fingers, to be a bit longer, and I want them geared for social media. Let's focus on Facebook first. So this iterative process of coming back with it, and say 4.5 is really fast relative to Grok. Now, this is a cool thing that ChatGPT does now, is it has this, I believe they call this Canvas. So the cool thing about Canvas is you can actively edit or change different parts of this, of what it returns to you. And let's check on Grok. All right, let's see what Grok gave us. Below are 3 distinct advertisements for Brierley, a multifamily property in Houston, Texas. Ad focused on convenience and modern living, effortless living, and a modern oasis. And we might side by side these. So let's see. Oh, I'm in Canvas. I'll close it for now. Let's go back up to the original ads because they hit these in the same order. So effortless living in a modern oasis, elevate your lifestyle with urban convenience. That's personal preference. Frankly, on marketing, the more volume you have, the better. So you probably run both of these. At Brierley, convenience meets modern living. This one gives me a little bit of a summary as to why this is valuable. Ad focus on sustainability and comfort. So that's actually a really great ad to target that cohort. And then elevate your lifestyle at Brierley, step into a world of elegance, the modern kitchen, featuring sleek gray cabinetry and pristine. So for most of these, all of these are usable, right? You might change a word here or there, but you're not going to get stuck where the outputs aren't very good. These models have gotten significantly better and get better seemingly every day. We'll scroll down to the Facebook ads, and we'll show a little bit of how can you optimize these ads for a Facebook campaign. So slightly different prompt, but we'll see if it can do that for us while we're looking at these. Let me expand this. So the cool thing about Canvas is I can come into one of these and say, I could highlight this and say, I want this to be edited. I want to leave the rest of it. So this is a really cool feature from ChatGPT where you get something that's formatted and ready for export, and you don't have to cut and paste or just portions of what's going on. So I'm going to ask this to edit this and say, can we gear this more for young professionals? So now it's not going to rewrite the whole thing in just a couple minutes, hopefully. Although I don't see the little thing spinning. Yep. Now it's rereading this section, and it's going to rewrite it for us. I hope. Yep, there it goes. All right, now we're violating fair housing a little bit, so we lost that part of the prompt. But that happens. But what we could do is when this finishes, I can just come back here and take this out. Whoops, once it's done, it's not done yet. There it's now it's done. So I can come back here, take this out, and now I've got my ad. And this is going to be saved with these changes, so you can come back to it anytime you want. And that's one of the cool things about Canvas is if I had a property, I could start this thread, come back to the thread anytime, and because it already is started and I've made some edits, I can ask it to create more ads or to brainstorm more content for me to use. So this could be a massive asset for teams where content is king, right? The more you can put out, the more awareness you can generate, the more successful your property is ultimately going to be in its lease up. So let's check in on our website. Can you see the Brierley landing page with the hero section and waitlist form? Is everything loading correctly? So we'll need to change this photo a little bit later. We have our VIP waitlist with what we need and our links to our social sites. But we don't have the blog yet, but that's all right. We'll see what it wants to do next. well, first we'll tell it, yes, we can see it. And it's going to save. Now, Replit, unlike Grok and ChatGPT, where you're paying one time, actually does charge you each time it reaches the save point. It charges you 25 cents. I think in my testing, it took me I spent about $3. So now it's going to implement the blog section. So we'll let that run. And while that's running, I think we're good on the property ads idea. And I don't want to get bogged down too long because hour and a half goes a lot faster than we expect. So let's jump into our next prompt. This is my pictures with words prompt, which, as a quick aside, I would say this is one of the biggest opportunities for properties. If you think about social media and you think about what gets posted on social media, it's always pictures with words. Yet somehow our marketing is just the same 13 photos that we've always seen. Kitchens, an empty living room, maybe pictures of a model, but that's not how people process data. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this prompt. We're going to upload an image, and we're going to ask it to brainstorm captions that we can use to then maybe go in Canva and upload that image and overlay those words on top of it. So here, this prompt, we're using XML again, and we're giving it as task description. As a marketing expert, generate 5 short phrases for each of the following demographics. These phrases will be overlaid on an image of a pool of a property in Houston, Texas. I'll show you all the image we're using. So this is the image we're going to use. It's a beautiful property. It's got downtown views. But at the same time, it's kind of plain, right? Like it's not different than anything else that we're going to see from people. So we're going to figure out how to spice this up a bit. And we have this great section here in the clouds where we could add words. Also down here along the bottom, it'd be really easy to add a footer and a website. So it describes the image and lets it know what's going on at the property. Here's some demographic information. Again, we're not going to have a call out saying, do this for this specific demographic. So we're going to stay compliant, but the phrases that we use are going to be things that will resonate with that market. So empty nesters might be more interested in comfort, relaxation, and low maintenance living. Young couples without children, right? Romance, space for growth, modern features. You could include things like people who work from home or anything else that you need. You just have to change out the interests here in the prompt. We have our phrase guidelines of keep phrases short, catchy, and visual appealing because we're going to put them over the image. We want to invoke emotions and aspirations tied to their interests. And we want to possibly highlight the pool and the Houston skyline as key features. And then we're telling it the output format that we want these organized based on our demographics with 5 phrases in each section. So let's grab this prompt. And this time, I'm not going to have Grok think. Let's just use Grok normal and see what it does. That was fast. And Jonathan, that's why I like Grok. When it's not having to think, it is incredibly fast and really, really smart. So, and then we'll do the same thing here with ChatGPT 4.5. It's also pretty quick. So we've gotten, honestly, I'm pretty happy with this. We've gotten 15 different things that we can post on here. So how might you use these? What we do is we jump into Canva, we'd create a new design, upload our image. Let me grab my file. Use a new design. I usually make it a custom size that mirrors the size of the image. And then we grab a phrase, we add a text box. Let's do poolside vibes and skyline views. And this isn't quite big. Do that. Let's see if we can find a color matches these. And then we could drop the website at the bottom, which, so again, what this does is, Stacy has a great comment on developing marketing prop frameworks that can be used over and over would make new acquisitions so much easier. Thank you, Stacy, and glad you're here today. As always, I agree. And the cool thing about this too is, since we struggle with content, I could have this version, I can do another version, have that different word on there. So it gives us more diversity of content because the picture is different, right? You can repost this multiple times. You can have it for Instagram size photos. You could have it for your website, but you're doing things that evoke an emotion more than just the image. And it makes things just work so much faster in terms of your content production, because right now labor is kind of the bottleneck, right? It takes a lot of time to do these if you're having to do them all yourself. But if you use AI to help you do the brainstorming and do the front end, you're able to then apply things in a much different and more impactful way. Let's check in on our website. Can you see the new construction update section below the waitlist form? Does it show either a loading state or no construction updates yet? So we've still got our waitlist. It says no construction updates yet. So we'll tell it that. And now it's going to jump back in, start thinking again. It's going to come up with this next step, and it's going to start building the rest of the site. And again, this has been what, 10 minutes? So now it's setting up the admin page where we can create blog posts and manage the waitlist entries. Jason said, very pleasantly surprised with how it handles fair housing, especially the gray areas. I agree. I think the big thing there is just reminding it and asking it to do so. That's a big thing. And what I talked about at the beginning is your instructions have to be clear. And it's worth taking the time on the front end to make those instructions clear so that everything kind of fits and people can understand what's happening. So it's, I think it's asking me if I want to add a database to store user data. I do. So now it's going to build me a database so that we could export our waitlist. We could upload that into our CRM, and it's doing everything for me. So I'm not having to think through, how do I write the code? How do I do this? So teams can build these really quickly. And when it's done, deploy it to the web, deploy it to a custom DNS or to a custom website. So it makes a huge difference. Let me pop back over here. We'll get to our next one here in a second, but Stacy had a great comment. Messaging to target different demographics is rarely done due to the time commitment it takes. I completely agree. And the fact that this makes it fast and easy, it takes a lot of the thought out of it. And for me, the big thing that it does is it gets me off the paralysis that comes with staring at a blank page. So being able to just start doing things and have something that I can edit as opposed to something where I'm starting from zero makes a massive difference. So now let's grab our next prompt. Let's see, we did pictures with words, we did hyper targeted ads. Let's do the social media campaign. So here we're again looking at a lease up, something that's under construction, and we want to develop a social media campaign to generate awareness for that property. So I have the task description. Now notice this time it's a social media marketing expert, not just a marketing expert. That specificity makes a difference. Giving it details on the property, what the strategy should cover, the primary objectives, raise awareness of the property, provide regular updates on construction process. We're once again giving it details on the property. We're telling it the demographics that we want to target. We're giving it goals. So what do we want to do in terms coming out of this? What are the content themes that we'd want to be letting people know about? And then our strategy requirements. Identify the best social media platforms for reaching each demographic with justification. So I'm asking it to not only give me answers, but explain why it's giving me those answers. Specify content types, provide sample posts. So we're going to start with sample posts because we don't want to overload it with too much at the beginning. But once we get the plan, then we can ask it to start bringing in some more specificity. Recommend a content calendar or posting for regular updates. I'm going to tell it here, my preference would be to post multiple times a week. Please recommend posting times for each platform you recommend. And then we've got our requirements, include methods to engage followers and encourage waitlist signups, ensure the strategy generates excitement, and then our output format. Again, that's these different segments really add to the quality of output. So telling it how I want the output usually gives me that output. Not always, but usually gives me that output. Has a couple of additional instructions. So let's jump into this one and see how this does. I don't think we need to let this think. It's been pretty good without it, and I like the faster results. So we'll drop this here. We'll go to ChatGPT 4.5. We'll drop this here, and we'll go back to Grok and see what it's giving us. So if you think about this for your teams, I'm curious for people who are doing marketing on a regular basis for properties, whether it's a lease up or any property, when you ask your team to put together a social media strategy, how long does it take? Feel free to drop that in the chat or in the comments. But this kind of broad strokes plan took what, 5 seconds? When having that really good, you might spend 10, 20 minutes on the prompt, but then you get everything out. So social media strategy, it's restating, who the targets are, recommended social media platforms, Instagram, ideal for all 3 demographics due to visual focus. I agree with that. Features like stories, reels, and IGTV allow for dynamic updates. Facebook, a strong platform for empty nesters. He used it for community engagement. Completely agree with that. I like this call out about who made join local Houston groups. That's a bit of a trigger to possibly post to join those groups and be posting these things in the group instead of just relying on the individual places. That's a tip I picked up yesterday. He's probably in the chat. How did I just forget your name? I think it's George. It's not George. Dang it. I'll pull it up in a second on the side so I can remember. Because I like giving credit to people who help me with things. But it was a great suggestion that I ran into. Let's see. Gerard Wilson. Sorry, Gerard. I apologize for that, but we just met yesterday. So that's my bad. But Gerard Wilson, has been doing great on LinkedIn by posting in the property management insiders communities. And that just put off this light bulb for me that why am I not doing that? And 2, why aren't we doing that for our properties? Let's go and join the groups of people. There he is. Appreciate you. So why don't we go to these groups where our target demographics live on social media and post our content there? So that's a great call out by the AI on this one. TikTok, perfect for young professionals and young couples who dominate TikTok's user base. And then LinkedIn targets young professionals. I agree with all of that. Content types, it's giving us breakdowns, including reel suggestions, story suggestions, carousel suggestions for each different platform, different content for empty nesters. We've got a sample content calendar, so frequency of posting, the types of posts, how frequently to post. It's peak engagement for Houston's young and active users. Again, giving examples of things that we can post across all of the platforms. We've got specific call to actions for waitlist signups that are also geared around the demographic, right? For young professionals, the be the first to live the Brierley vibe, that fits. But for an empty nester, it's more about being a low maintenance community. Again, that's what makes these so powerful. Stacey has a great question. Have you seen any of the major automations utilized by in-house marketing teams to post across social media, multiple social media channels? I have. For me, I'm using HubSpot to do that. I know there's a lot of the CRMs are now building this into their software. Candidly, I haven't played with a lot of those because it's a fairly new thing, and I've left the operations and management side of the business to start chasing tomorrow just over a year, about 15 months ago. But I know they exist. A great one is called Hootsuite that you can post to multiple ones. But I'll make one comment there just from more of a marketing as opposed to an AI standpoint. You'll notice in here when it's making its recommendations, there are subtle differences for the ads in the content that you post that need to be platform appropriate. So like what a mistake marketers make a lot, and it's due to time, which hopefully this fixes, is they post the same content everywhere. And what works for Instagram isn't going to work for TikTok, isn't going to work for LinkedIn, isn't going to work for Facebook. Is you need to be somewhat bespoke in what you do for each platform. And then you need to experiment and see what resonates. I'm a big fan, and this is a strategy from Gary Vaynerchuk or Gary V, where post a bunch of organic content and then take the things that work and are getting the most traction there and turn that into your paid ads. So that way you already have proven, one, you're doing and testing marketing, and you try to make the best content you can, but the things that you then put money behind are proven and gotten traction, and that you send out to the much wider audience. So we've got our specific calls to action. We've got ideas on polls. We've got ideas on behind the scene content, which I actually love this idea. Weekly construction diaries with time lapses or work interviews. That's awesome. That's a great idea that more and more lease ups and properties should be doing. And then I love this idea of live streams. I'm obviously doing one right now, but with IGTV Live, with the different points and different things that you can do, and the different platforms that are available. Like I said, like I'm using StreamYard for this, so I can stream across 3 platforms at the same time, which is incredible for me because I get the chat all merged together. Let's do. I have one nearby. I don't, but you can grab like the Gorilla Pros, or you can put your phone on it really easily, and you can live stream these events to help build community and help build excitement about what's happening at your property. And then it gives a summary on what it did and why it did it. So let's check in on Grok and see how this did. Now this put it in a canvas for us. So if you, let's say you're putting this together for a client, it's as easy as just copy and pasting it, making some edits, do what you need to do, then copying and pasting it and sending and having an overview of your plan. So overview of the target demographics, recommended social media platforms. We're getting pretty similar results. So I'm showing both to show that they both work. They're both really valuable. If you have both, I recommend using both for something like this, just because they are going to give you slightly different things. But I love that this is, saying Instagram and LinkedIn for young professionals, young couples, empty nesters, Facebook, and giving examples of ads. It's got our sample content calendar. I'm actually curious. Let me side by side these again. So sample content calendar. I just want to compare the sample content calendar posting times. So this is saying Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This said Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Honestly, I think you should be posting this stuff daily. and just doing quick updates just to have that volume of content. A lot of people worry about, what if I don't make good content? No one's going to care or notice. The way these algorithms work now on social media, bad content, one, doesn't get seen. And if you're posting enough, it also doesn't live in your feed for very long. So it's not something that we really need to worry a ton about. It's something that people tend to overthink and allow get in the way of actually doing the content production and things that they need to do. Stacey says she's testing out Diverse right now. Actually, I haven't heard of Diverse, but I will definitely be looking into that as well as a way to post across multiple channels. If you can't tell, I'm always trying to find the latest tools to use to make myself more effective at being a one-man show right now. So I'd say this turned out pretty good, but all we got were sample ads and a sample calendar. So I want to ask both of these, can you create more than just sample ads? Give me my first 14 days of content. And we'll see what this comes back with. So now we've got both of these, and this is still writing here and working through everything. But we're getting daily kind of breakdowns and different things that we can do. It's giving you captions, recommended photos or video types. So again, this could be a really, really powerful tool for teams as they're looking to market a property, whether it's an existing property or a lease up, to streamline things, to make things go a lot faster. So let's check in on our website build. Got it. You try accessing the website. The blog section should now work without errors. The blog didn't have any errors. That's okay. We're good to go there. Yes. Let's test the wait list. Next. So it's going to prepare for that. And while that's running, and while before we get into our last prompt, I do want to take 90 seconds for a quick word from our sponsor, Guided. So bear with this for a second, and I'll be right back in 90 seconds.
Have you ever wished creating training for your multifamily team, adopting new technologies, or sharing compelling product demos and support content was easier? I know when
We gotta love live things because that didn't work. Let's just jump back into everything. I lost my screen share. Maybe we'll do that at the end, but for now, we'll just keep running. Or actually, there we go. I got that fixed. Let's try this one more time.
Have you ever wished creating training for your multifamily team, adopting new technologies, or sharing compelling product demos and support content was easier? I know when I was running the training and tech at RPM Living, I definitely did.
That's why I'm excited to be introducing Guided, the innovative tool that transforms your browser activity into interactive tours, easy to follow step-by-step guides, and captivating how-to videos, all from one recording. Say goodbye to complicated software. Guided's intuitive browser extension captures your clicks automatically, while our AI-powered editing tools helps you craft professional content in minutes, not hours. Our powerful playlist feature lets you effortlessly organize your training content into clear, role-specific, and use case-specific reference materials. Whether you're launching a new software product, onboarding a new teammate, or ensuring your affordable housing community meets compliance requirements, Guided playlists make your content easy to find and even easier to understand. So, if you're looking to streamline property management operations, enhance your onboarding experiences, or turbocharging software sales and support, Guided helps you do it faster, better, and smarter. Unlock new levels of engagement, reduce training costs, and increase retention rates. Start your journey today at guided.studio and see why multifamily leaders trust Guided to drive their teams forward. Guided. Simplify your training, amplify your impact. Now let's get back to the Multifamily AI Lab Live. All right, appreciate everyone sitting through that, and let's jump back in because today is not necessarily about Guided. Today is about the tools that we're using. And why is my screen not shared? There we go. I'll just keep myself on the left side since it's not wanting to cooperate. Yeah. Okay. All right. So last prompt, and we'll check back in on our website build. This is something that everyone should be doing. And Gerard has a question. I notice that SMS messaging is listed as an effective marketing approach. Once you have a phone or a potential tenant, isn't it crucial to establish effective communication? I completely agree. And one of the things that if we get far enough in the website build before we run out of time today, the goal there is to build in automatic text messaging that could happen every time you post a blog post update. Because I do agree SMS is a massive, massive channel. Not everyone answers their phone. I know I'm guilty of that. And having an effective way to communicate with people via text is critical in today's environment. Some of the CRMs handle it. I know Resman has it baked in. There's a lot of companies that don't. And finding solutions out there that can help your team to do that effectively, and more importantly, integrate with your software, can make a huge difference. So that's a great question, Gerard, and a good highlight in terms of marketing of, and that's something that we could actually, if we have time, prompt the model to help come up with what should be in those SMS messages as well. So great input. Appreciate you being here. So let's look at our prompt now for trying to do counter marketing research. Now, this is something that most properties don't do. And again, it's because they don't necessarily have time, but that can be incredibly powerful for our teams if we do it well. Let me try something really quick. Found my right scene. So I'm back in the other corner with a round image. So again, we're giving it as task description. As a marketing strategist, we want to do an in-depth analysis of the marketing strategies employed by Brierley's competitors. I gave it those. I gave it the websites and the names of the properties so it can go find those websites. Now, in testing, it also went and searched for their social media sites. We're looking for their target audience, their key messaging, what unique selling points are they using, what sort of visual content, promo tactics, what's their digital presence like, pricing strategies, demographics, and community engagement. And then we're telling it, we want you to identify the gaps. Because if people are missing things that might resonate with our demographic, we want to try and fill it. Now we're giving it instructions. From the insights of the competitor analysis, develop a counter marketing strategy for Brierley that exploits gaps, leverages the features, and proposes innovative messaging, suggests specific channels. And we want to make sure the strategy is practical, creative, and tailored to multifamily. We get a couple different additional considerations. And then we're giving it a breakdown of the output format. I want the competitor analysis first, and then I want the counter strategy. We want all the recommendations to be actionable and give concrete examples of how we can execute that strategy. And then we're telling it to think about learning and creativity and use the analysis to uncover unique angles for Brierley's marketing. So let's grab this and we'll hit our last prompt for today. I think I want it to think this time. And here I want it to think, so I'm going to use 03 Mini because it's a little bit faster than 01 Pro, but it's still going to do it with reasoning. So again, well, that was really fast. We might actually do a second one of these, also just to see the difference. Oh, this doesn't have search, so this is not going to work. Yeah. O3 Mini is our best bet. We might pull that up to compare what it did there. But while this is running, so this stopped for 42 seconds. It visited 20 different web pages. You can see what those are here. It's one of the reasons I also love Grok, is that it does a great job giving you sources. And now we have a detailed response to the query. Now, again, think about use cases for everyone who's in the industry. Imagine sending this to a client or putting this into a pitch as to why you should get the deal. It's because you'll demonstrate expertise, you'll be thorough, you'll show everything that you're doing that's making a huge difference. So we have our target audience, the key young professionals and luxury seekers, its key messaging, the unique selling points, no specific or offers or campaigns mentioned on the website. We can click here and open the website if we want to, so we can see that it actually went to the website to find this. And actually, there's no pop-up with specials or anything like that. So that gives me some confidence that we have what we need. The Augusta apartments also breaks down same things there. Community engagement is not a focus. And for each of these gaps and weaknesses, so minimal digital presence beyond the website, missing opportunities to engage people and renters via social media. That's a great call out. You know, that may be somewhere you spend some more energy and effort because they're not there. This seems to be a theme of most of these. This one didn't find quite as much. And there were a couple of places where it said didn't find things. We're going to follow up with this. I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to ask you to double check because I'm not 100% sure. Before we do that, let's look at the counter strategy. So to position broadly as distinctive, we have differentiate opportunities with the design features, sustainability and eco-friendly living, technology integration, community engagement, and then here's how to approach each of the audiences. And then we have some, again, proposed ad ideas. That's interesting. Suggestion. And then implementing AI chatbots, promo offers, things to drive there. This is actually, I love this recommendation. Collaborate with sustainable brands, sponsor community events like green fairs or art walks to boost visibility. Those are great things you can do when you're at any point with a property, but especially in pre-marketing phases, because you could invite your wait list and also have it as a meet your neighbors event. Actual recommendations. So it's got post ideas, design and dine open house. I love that. And while sampling food from local vendors, showcasing both design and community vibe. Keep in mind, when we're renting a property, we're not just renting the time in a box and the bedrooms and kitchens that they're going to be living in. We're renting a lifestyle. So partnership opportunities, you know, that's a great suggestion as well. Got ideas for blog posts, and then final thoughts. So let's have it go check Facebook, and then we'll come down here and see how this one did. So again, competitor analysis summary, and format's clean. You could copy and paste this, do a couple little tweaks to have it ready to go for a pitch. Identified gaps. Over-reliance on conventional luxury narrative without innovative lifestyle hooks. I spent some time on their website when I was testing. I agree with that. And that's what a lot of people miss in their marketing, is they're not selling the lifestyle, they're just selling the property. So great suggestions here. Position as a value-driven option that balances convenient and affordability. It can appeal somewhat generic. And Caroline Uptown West. Technology forward, the approach can feel formulaic. There's potential for deeper community integration. So that the community integration seems to be a recurring theme here. So if I was marketing the lease up for Brierley, that's where I'd be spending a lot of energy. One, because I know that's what makes people lease. And two, it's something that no one else is doing. So it's distinct and you're going to stand out compared to your competition. So here's the counter strategy. Innovative lifestyle narrative, like we've just been talking about, integrating and partnering with the local community, be overlapping yet distinct for your call outs to your different demographics, cater to renters who are eco-conscious and tech savvy. Again, we have proposed messaging ideas, some specific promotional tactics. We've got VR making an appearance again. So apparently AI really likes VR. We got our AI-powered chatbots. I love this series of video testimonials and day in the life segments, having micro content. As a quick aside, a lot of these properties will make a lifestyle video that's maybe 2 minutes, and that's what they'll post. And when I see those, I see 25 other 10-second videos that you could have made in post-production that you could use to drive content as reels, as shorts, as other places where people can engage with you. Because if the thing that's going to make them lease is 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the video, they may never see it. So those long videos are great, but let's chop them up and also use that as a way to have more content that we can put out for our properties. I like this idea of Brierley Green Days. And then we've got our actual recommendations. So again, I feel like all of these have worked pretty well. We can go back here and see if it went and found search image to Facebook data as property. Web results focus primarily on the official website and amenities. All right, so they're maybe missing the gap there a bit. And also not finding, let's double check that. So I know we have a link up here, didn't we? Because it's trust but verify. And that's right, there's no Facebook link, no Instagram link, no social links. So that to me screams opportunity that for my properties, these properties are all 5 minutes or less from the Brierley. So being present on social could be somewhere that we could reach a bunch of people that this property is not going to reach. And doing that, if you do it right, allows you to build your prospect pipeline and reduce your reliance on things like ILSs, which I am a notorious hater of because I don't think they work. I think they overcharge. I hate that we're giving them access to our data and they sell it back to us for $1,000 a month for CoStar licenses. And as an industry, we need to do a better job of taking control of our pipelines back and taking control of our leasing and generating our own traffic. And having tools like these AI prompts can help you to do that. So it didn't find a ton of stuff on social media accounts for any of these. So again, that screams opportunity. And this sort of research is things that, while we know we should do it, most people don't do it because they don't have time. So I'm gonna close a couple of these because my computer's fan is screaming right now. So I think that's it for today. Anyone have any questions or anything before we wrap up? I appreciate everyone being here. I hope this has been useful. As I mentioned, we will get these uploaded by tomorrow onto prompts.chasingtomorrow.ai with some instructions on how to edit them, how to customize them for your own use, and how to leverage these tools for your teams. Because if you think about it, Grok 3 is $40 a month. I'm paying $200 for ChatGPT Pro, but what we used for most of these was GPT 4.5, which I think you might have to be a pro member for initially. But I would expect in a couple months it's going to be available, or at least a plus member, which is $20 a month. So we're not talking about a ton of money. And frankly, the $200 I spent on GPT Pro is probably one of the best investments I make overall. But the prompts will be up on prompts.chasingtomorrow.ai starting tomorrow. So use them, download them. There's a bunch of other great prompts there on market research. There's a prompt called the Fisherman's Prompt that I use for learning new topics that's incredibly powerful. So feel free to play with that and test that out. And if y'all don't have any other questions, well, actually, let's check on our website. Can you try filling out some of the waitlist form with some test data? Let me know if it works. So let's see how far we got here. Then I'll say I'm moving May 31st. Join the waitlist. It's submitted. Thank you as a toast pop-up telling me thank you for joining the waitlist. Now let's go to our database and let's see. Don't see it there. So this would be something where I'd be coming back. I'd be iterating more. Replic's $20 a month. It's an amazing tool to play with. I'll show y'all the emulator I made really quick just to kind of show how powerful this is. This took me 7 minutes to build, where I uploaded screenshots of commonly used management software. Here's a Yardi guest card. Here's so I go up here and run. Here's a Resman boardroom. We've got a few others. So now this isn't necessarily a straight multifamily use. This is more of a prop tech use case. But now I have an interactive emulator that I built that took me, like I said, maybe 15 minutes that I can use for demos of guided. So incredible tool, super powerful to build really useful bespoke apps. We'll probably try to use Replit in the future to try and build better leasing chatbots on a future episode. If y'all have any ideas on things you want to cover, any repetitive tasks or things like that, I just realized that I wasn't sharing my screen this whole time. So I'll pop that up really quick. Whoops, here. So this is the emulator. So this took maybe 10 minutes to build, like I said. But big picture, these tools are powerful. I'd encourage everyone, if you want to start using these, just start playing with them. If the more you play with them, the better off you'll be, and you'll understand how they work, and then you'll be able to start getting more out of them. So that's all I got this week. Thank you to everyone who attended, and I appreciate everyone. And we will see you next week, 1 p.m. I'm still working on an idea for what we're going to do. If y'all have ideas, message me, drop them in the comments. And we'll be back with the Multifamily AI Lab soon. Thank you, everybody, for attending. And I will play that wicked theme song on our way out. Appreciate everyone.
Monday at 1, the lab lights ignite. We break it and build it. We're learning on site. Push AI to the edge, see what it can do. From comps to micro apps, we're forging something new. We're live, we're loud, and we're ready to explore. No limits hold us back, we're chasing tomorrow. For multifamily pros, the future's at our door. Experimentation's the spark, we watch it glow. We watch it glow. Tune in, ask questions, and experiment on the fly. Real estate solutions rising high. We might crash, we might soar. That's part of the show. But every fail's a lesson helping us grow. It's Multifamily AI Lab Love. Together, we'll find a way to thrive. We're live, we're loud, and we're ready to explore. No limits hold us back, we're chasing tomorrow. For multifamily pros, the future's at our door. Experimentation's the spark, we watch it glow. Well, yeah, we watch it glow. We watch it glow. Together we'll find the way to thrive. Oh! Tune in, ask questions, and experiment on the fly. Real estate solutions rising high.